How's it going, folks? So my name's Marty, and so I don't have any pronouns, unfortunately. I can't afford to pay any of them, so they're all amateur. All my nouns are amateur. That's just how that goes. I know a lot of people these days, they have pronouns, and that's good. I'm glad they can afford that. It's kind of bragging, really. I really like birds. Quite into a lot of native species, really. But I do feel sorry for ducks because they have bills. It's really unfortunate, you know. I've been wondering about oyster catchers for quite some time, because oyster catchers, like, what are they trying to catch oysters doing exactly? Like, you know, like, what are oysters committing crimes out there in the big wide world? Like, is there like an oyster gang, like somewhere, and they're like, boss, we gotta hide from these oyster catchers. You see their orange beaks? You tell us. You got that? I don't know. Maybe that's just how it works. I'm not sure. But yeah, no. Along with speaking of crimes and stuff, I have wondered about the Supreme Court. We have a Supreme Court here in New Zealand, and there's the Supreme Court judges and stuff like that. But what about a meat lovers court? That's the thing is, this, or a pepperoni court, that's the thing is, there's all these, there's court systems for, they're supreme, but is there a stuffed crust court, is that how that works? I'm not entirely sure. But speaking of that kind of shenanigans, there's also a carpet court I've noticed in my town, at least. I think there's a chain of them around the country, which means there are several carpet courts, which makes me wonder exactly what are they catching carpets doing that they are being taken to court for. That really has me puzzled quite something. I'm prepared to definitely go into carpet court and say, hey, is the shag pile just, like, what's going on there? Is there too much in the way of Cavalier Bremworth or whatever it is, Are they not being sewn or machined properly? Is that what's going on here? I have no idea, but all I do know is carpets are going to court. And there's obviously carpet judges. That has me quite strongly concerned. Quite a bit. So anyway, on with the podcast, eh? All right, folks. Cool. Good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my podcast. Let's get on with the shenanigans. So today, in episode 7 of the Marty Cast, I'm talking to you about a humpback whale, first off. And this humpback whale, it was found off the coast of Zanzibar. Now let's find out what Zanzibar is. All of the shenanigans. There was a humpback whale, and this humpback whale, it didn't. Zanzibar, Tanzania. All right. And if we have a good look, it's okay. So Zanzibar. All right. So it's a long way away. Anyway, so let's listen to the story. I'll just get a recap.
Humpback whales, because we know so much about them. One of the best things we know about them is that we know where they migrate to, and they tend to migrate to really popular tourist destinations such as Hawaii. Now, something fun about humpback whales, at least in my opinion, is that they migrate back every year, or almost every year, to where they were born. So if a humpback whale is born in Hawaii, and it migrates up to Alaska in the summertime to feed, when it comes south again for the breeding season in the winter, it's likely going to go back to Hawaii. But there are multiple breeding locations in the North Pacific for humpback whales. The majority of humpback whales head up to the colder waters
We'll just get it to the point,
Alaska, at least on the the eastern side of the Pacific. Sighting, we don't know a couple of things. We don't know how many times this whale has made this 8,000 mile long trip, and we equator to go elsewhere. So North Pacific humpbacks that go from Hawaii to Alaska will continue to do that, sometimes going to Mexico like I mentioned, but they will never cross the equator to go south to Antarctica. And vice versa, the Antarctic humpbacks, the southern humpbacks, they won't migrate into the North Pacific or North Atlantic. At least that's what we thought until this discovery. Because this whale, which was sighted in 2013 and 2017 away from Zanzibar, was sighted off the Pacific coast of Colombia, meaning that this whale had to cross several oceans and go past several continents to get to those areas. And that has, as far as I know, is unheard of. That means this whale, at least one time now, has traveled over 8,000 miles from a breeding location
13,000 kilometers
to a feeding area in the
It's a long way to
summer.
swim.
Now, because this whale has only been sighted 3 times,
But these are
between 4
gigantic
to 5 years
animals.
apart
They're-
from
it's
each
not like they've
sighting,
got jobs,
we don't know a couple
stuff to
things.
do.
We don't
Yeah.
know how many times this whale has made this 8,000 mile long trip, and we don't know what route the whale took to get.
Imagine what route the whale took. I mean, going from off the coast of Zanzibar, Tanzania, through the Indian Ocean. I suppose you'd go the other way, go around the Cape Horn, and then off the coast of Colombia, they were saying. So like through under the Cape Horn, through the Drake Passage. Should it be the Drake Passage still? Do you think it should still be? Shouldn't it be the Kendrick Lamar Passage? I think that's a question for another time. But anyway, so off the coast of Tanzania, Cape Horn, Southern Ocean, through the Drake Passage, back up to off the coast of Colombia, which is other warm waters, but that's for Southern Ocean going creatures of this type, and they hang out up there. Anyway, so that I think that's quite interesting.
Locations. However, researchers think it started off by going south, crossing the equator as it went down from Colombia down South America's western coast, rounding the bottom of Argentina and Chile, crossing the South Atlantic Ocean, and going up Africa's east coast to Zanzibar. Now, of course, the whale could have gone the opposite direction. It could have gone north, up North America, through Alaska, the Bering Strait, Russia, down East Asia, through the Indian Ocean, and ending up in Africa. We will probably never know, but either way, this is the first of its kind as far as I'm aware. Now, of course, the biggest question is why? Why did this whale cross multiple oceans and multiple continents to get from a breeding location in Colombia to a feeding location in East Africa? We don't really know. As far as I'm aware, this has never been documented before. Now, it's possible, that based on my own knowledge of humpback whales, that this could be happening a lot more than we expect, just the whales doing it haven't been identified in these vastly different locations. Maybe now, with more modern approaches like Happy Whale, we'll be able to see potentially more of this going on as more casual observers get into actually identifying the whales that they get pictures of, but we'll have to wait and see on that front. The researchers think that possibly human interference, such as human accelerated climate change, shipping noise, and food stock shortages due to human overfishing, might have driven this whale to make such a drastically long migration over the course of 5 years. It also simply could just be the drive to mate. This particular whale, turns out it's a male, and a couple of times it's been seen in Zanzibar and in Colombia. It's been sighted competing with other males for a female. And humpback whales are a species that practice polygamy.
Do you think maybe the Colombian whales, female whales, are a little bit better, more exotic? I know the Colombian women women I've met from Colombia, a lot of women from South America I've met, top tier, most certainly, so I mean, maybe Colombian women, maybe female Colombian whales are also top tier, who knows? But anyway, we continue.
Where a male will mate with multiple females throughout the year. They don't mate for life. They don't partner up. males will mate with as many females as they can. So maybe this particular whale just wants to mate with other females, and it just wandered elsewhere than it usually goes to and found a whale that led it back to another area where it would be able to mate with new females. Of course, all of this is just speculation, because this whale was sighted in Colombia in 2017 and was only next sighted in Zanzibar in 2022. We don't know where this whale has gone in the years in between or since. It hasn't been sighted since 2022. So we can only really make guesses as to what's going on with this particular animal. But this is why humpbacks are one of my favorite species to talk about, because there might be a ton of stuff that we do know about them, but there is a ton of stuff that they are still revealing to us, and there are certainly countless more secrets to be discovered of the singing giants of the seas.
Yeah, that's good. So the whale was going from Zanzibar to Colombia, or Colombia to Zanzibar, and there are several ways for it to actually make that trip. It could have gone north, and then come down south, and then come around to Tanzania, and made its little self found some excellent Tanzanian coastal whales to mate with. Who knows? We never know. But all I do know is my cat would like to go outside right now. So yeah, maybe it's time for the cat to ask Marty. Hey, is it? Right, folks, we're back, and so this week, what did I do as far as busking went? Well, last week I played at my usual spot. I played at what's it called, Central Parade at the Mount, and that was okay. Had a little bit of a go, and yeah, just got things done, and yeah, played my songs, had a bit of fun, had a bit of a boogie, said thank you to everyone who gave me a small donation. Usually it's $5, sometimes, well no, it's not usually $5, sometimes it's $1, sometimes it's $5. It was all fine to me. It all adds up, and that's about that really. The next day I played at, where did I play at? I played at, what's it called, I played at Greerton, which is my usual Wednesday spot. I played at Greerton, and that was alright, and I went there, and I had a good time, and it was okay. I didn't make anywhere near as much as I usually do, and that's okay. This is busking, and that's just how things go. There's no guarantee at all of what you're going to earn and what you're going to make at all. It could be $100, it could be $10, it could be $2.50, it could be $1.20, it could be 50 cents, and that's okay. That's all fine. That is how it is. That's the game you're playing. I've probably talked about a lot of this kind of stuff before, the lack of guarantee and all that business, and that's cool. But anyway, so Thursday I played at Brookfield as well, which was cool. I played there, had a good go, tried to do as well as I could, and that was alright. Friday I played at, and I made quite a good earning that day. Friday I played at Papamala. Also Thursday night went to a jam night with my cousin and a bunch of mates and stuff, and that was cool. Played like 3 songs, 2 songs people really didn't know, and that's alright. It's a jam night, whatever, I don't really care. It's not like I'm getting paid, and I'm really not expecting anything from it anyway. But anyway, so played the jam night, had a bit of fun, watched some other people have a jam, sang along as well, so that was kind of cool. That was kind of the buzz as well. The vibe of the jam night was sort of like, if you know the words, sing along, and that's cool. I didn't drink anything aside from some apple juice, but it doesn't matter. It's not really about alcohol, because I'm not a big alcohol fan. I used to be quite a bit into other substances, but that doesn't really matter. These days I'm trying to just take care of my little head, take care of me as much as I can. Anyway, so yeah, Friday I played in Papamoa, and that was cool and I had a good go, had a good jam, and I got a free scone or something tasty, a little bit of a piece of baked good from a place called Gather, which was just a couple of doors down from where I was busking, which was sweet and it was nice and tasty, and I heated it up a little bit and put a little bit of margarine in there, because I'm too cheap for butter, of course. But yeah, no, so that was good. And and then Saturday I tried again to play at Brookfield, but the rain came down. I played like 2, maybe 3 songs. The rain came down like all kinds of shenanigans. It was already raining a little bit when I got off the motorway, when I got to Brookfield, got to Otamotai. It was a bit, and then, I was all prepped, ready to go and everything, you do the do, and everything was all good, but, so rained out, and that was okay. I still, somebody still gave me 50 cents, which was cool, whatever, I'm not, it's all good. But yeah, no, and then Saturday night, I was going to play down at the Mount, and then I just thought, and I just didn't. And that's been about it, really. I haven't really been applying for any jobs. I've been watching some of the declines come in, and that's okay. I've been waiting for another job. I think I might need to email them and ask them what's going on. But yeah, I've got a job coming up this Christmas. I'm going to be a mall Santa at Papamoa Plaza, and that's going to be a bit of a fun job, of course, but I'm just kind of using it to sort of, keep myself in the employment loop, so sort of just trying to hopefully, be employed, and therefore the whole thing of employers want to employ someone who's already employed, because this kind of that thing of that's what employers want. So you've just got to try and serve that up, I think, in some ways, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, it might not be an optimal job. I might not earn more than what I make on what I get. Sorry, I don't earn what I get on the penny, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. As long as I can pay my bills and I can do my thing, that's pretty much it for me. As far as everything else goes, we'll see how this grows as well. As far as a podcast goes, I'm definitely getting a few more likes and follows on my Facebook page, Tauranga Community. That's growing a little bit. I've gone about 250 more likes or so in the last about a month, and it's all organic. It's all just seeing how that goes. But anyway, have I had many fun I did. Yes, I did. Somebody recorded me actually on the Tuesday, and that was fun. That was cool. I think I might have talked about it last week, I don't know, but someone recorded me. It was Finding Music in the Apocalypse. Her name's Rebecca. She's fantastic, and I did invite her to come on this show here, and that's okay. But I think she sort of was talking about maybe getting on someone else's podcast or show or talk show or whatever, and I think that's cool too. Whatever. But yeah, so she said, if you want to do a bit of a talk, chit-chat sort of situation sometime, then get at her, and yeah, I think I'll definitely give that a go and see what happens, because you can only see what happens a little bit more, right? Yeah. So next up is a good news piece. And yeah, it's just on Instagram here. There's a young lad. He was 13 at the time. This was back in 2019, and he sold his Xbox and did some mowing jobs and some other yard jobs and other stuff, and he saved his money, and he bought his mother a used car, a 1999 white Chevrolet Metro, and I think that's pretty honourable, frankly. I think it's quite an awesome little feat for a young chap to do. Good on him. And yeah, apparently, according to one commenter, this was 7 years ago, and there was a GoFundMe for him, or for the family, I guess, the GoFundMe raised over $13,000, which is brilliant to hear about as well. I do think it's good that they it's good that they do these things. Some people are saying, oh, this is a traumatic experience for the young chap and all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, we live in a bit of a hellscape of a world, especially in the recent times, and really I think trying to recognise and provide solutions and being a good human is a brilliant thing to do, and good on him, yeah. So I've been lying around with my cat lately, just watching TikTok and other stuff, and and I do like to get out and go through my neighbourhood and do other things. And one thing I do like to do after I get home is show my cat the photos of things that I've seen. I haven't done that today. I've got a picture of a dove I haven't shown my cat, and I've got some tui photos that I haven't shown my cat as well. I'm not sure if she's even remotely interested, but I do think she kind of looks, and that's kind of, that's what we can do later on. Oh no, I can't. I can't film this. Actually, I could film this and show her the pictures. Actually, yes, I could. Anyway, so next up in this shenanigans, someone is asking if they are overreacting because they kicked their cousin out of their birthday because she bought her emotional support chicken. And it says, so this happened last weekend, and I still don't know if I was actually crazy or if everyone around me has lost the plot. I had a small birthday get-together at my place, and just close friends and cousins. Nothing dramatic. I cleaned, set everything up, and put out snacks, and played music. Very normal, very normal. Her cousin walks in holding a chicken, like a real live chicken. This chicken was wearing a tiny harness, just casually tucked under her arm like it's a purse. Everyone goes quiet because we genuinely thought she was joking, but she just looks at us and goes, "Please don't stare." She gets anxious. She's my emotional support animal. Yeah. No warning, no heads up, nothing. So she tried to stay, goes on to say, I tried to stay normal about it, but the chicken immediately starts wandering around my living room like it owns the place. It hops onto my couch, my dog sees it, and just loses his mind, barking, chasing, freaking out, which makes the chicken freak out, which makes my cousin freak out. A lot of freaking out. That's a lot of freaking out. There's a chicken freaking out, there's a dog freaking out, there's a cousin freaking out. Alright. And now the chicken is running around flapping its wings. My dog is dragging a throw blanket across the room. One of my friends drops an entire bowl of chips. Someone else screams and my cousin is yelling, "You're all stressing her out. Stop." The chicken somehow ends up in my bedroom, knocks over my diffuser, and starts stomping around my rug like it's protesting. Oh, protesting chicken. I haven't seen that since, what was it, Chicken Run, that movie. Anyway, she looks at me and I just insulted her entire bloodline and goes, oh, hold on, sorry, I missed a bit. I finally told my cousin as calmly as I could, listen, you can stay, but the chicken can't be inside. Please take it outside or back home. She looks at me like I just insulted her entire bloodline and goes, wow, you're discriminating against mental health needs now. I'm literally standing there watching feathers float around my room while she says this. She refuses to put the chicken outside, refuses to hold it, refuses to calm down, refuses to do anything except say I'm being ableist. So I told her if the chicken isn't leaving, then she has to go with it. She stormed out crying, yelling that I embarrassed her in front of everyone. Now my aunt is blowing up my phone saying I ruined the trust my cousin had in the family and that it was just a bird. No, it wasn't just a bird. It was an emotional support chicken. Meanwhile, my house looks like a farm exploded inside it. So yeah, was I overreacting for kicking her out, or is bringing a chicken to someone's birthday objectively insane? Yeah, so there's that. So what are your thoughts, folks? Is this person overreacting for kicking her cousin out who brought an emotional support chicken? Is it objectively insane? Would you like to have someone bring a random pet chicken in a harness to your house for your birthday? Some people, some responses I'm getting here are just, what the cluck? Surely this, oh my gosh. No. Someone said, surely this is cluckbait. Hold on. Alright. Someone else said this. Oh no, the original poster said this cracks me up, but yes, this happened, and please, I'm not smart enough to invent an emotional support chicken storyline. Someone else said that they've also been part of an emotional support chicken chaos story. Oh, no. Someone else is saying this can't be real. No. Someone is saying it's genuinely, it was too stupid and it was hilarious, but 10 out of 10 for the imaginary feathers floating around the room. No, this is actually real. Someone is saying the reference is this is a reference to something. It is real. Okay, yeah. No. Someone was saying it's definitely AI. Anyway, the next story. Shucks. Alright, so he's back. So the next shenanigans on Ask Anything is why do guys have nipples? And this is something I guess I've not really known or really contemplated much. I guess I've sort of contemplated a little bit over over the many decades, but I'm not entirely sure why do males have nipples. But apparently someone came up with the actual logical answer, of course, because everyone's got to ruin it. And it's because everyone starts out as a female, as a fetus. So when you're a fetus, when you're a tiny, after you're a zygote, you're a fetus, and that's why. And that's kind of it. So that's kind of negates the whole shenanigans with, Eve came from Adam's rib. It's actually more that Adam came from Eve, who was being a fetus at the time. So there's that. I also saw something along the lines with the whole Adam and Eve thing, somewhere on some kind of LGBTQAI thing, was that it's Adam and Eve, not Adam or Eve. So everyone should be bi, which is okay, whatever. But anyway, but also speaking of AI, it does make me wonder. Like there's AI, but is there a ear and is there a nose? And I mean, like everyone's talking about AI these days, but what about a forehead? I think computer scientists most certainly have a lot of overthinking to do. I can do it for them, of course. I'm sure you can too. But nonetheless, we march on to the next shenanigans. Someone here has a bit of a story they probably shouldn't be telling anyone at all, because let's just say you've been warned. Hey?
Weeks ago, I made a video about how I watched my birth mom get a train ran on her, and a lot of you guys didn't believe that was true. Some of you wanted a story time, and here is that story time for you guys. So I'm gonna lay some foundation of how we ended up in Colorado from Tennessee. So me and my brothers were living in different households at this point. My mom came to the school and said that we all had dentist appointments, and she was checking us out for them. So when she checked us out for the dentist appointment, we just got on the road and started heading to Colorado. We did not know what was going on. When we got to Colorado, we ended up living with my brother's grandma and her husband, but they would get drunk and hold pew-pews up to one another and start chasing one another. I vividly remember a night where my Nana Macy got so drunk that she was holding a pew-pew up to my Papa Mike, and he ran and jumped through the window into snow. It was the middle of winter and he was in his underwear. So my mom ended up starting Colorado Community State College or whatever, and she ended up getting housing. So we started living in a duplex. We moved down the mountain into a little town, and there was 20 duplexes in this town. And so she started making friends with all the neighbors. There were different kids, whatever. So she ended up deciding to have this party. And I don't know why she needed to have this party, because me and my brothers were living off of free school lunch and cake batter. I kid you not, we were making cake batter for dinner. So she has this party, whatnot, and then I don't know how to explain it, but her door was right here.
Just wanted you all to know that cake batter for dinner is kind of tasty. But anyway, let's continue with the story.
And my brother's door was right here. So that was the kids' room, was my brother's door. They put multiple TVs in there, turned the volume all the way up so nobody could hear anything. I was in my mom's room watching Twilight, and I started to hear stuff going on, and so I'm sneaking out of my mom's room to go to the kids' room, and the bathroom was also, so my mom's room, bathroom, brother's room, hallway, okay? So the bathroom was also right here. And as I'm sneaking out to my brother's room, I see her getting by 6 men in the bathroom because I'm just trying to go to my brother's room, and then they start shutting the door. Okay, that is not all of the story, but this is already getting long. If you want more of the story, I will totally tell that. We ended up getting flown back out to Tennessee by...
I think they ended up getting taken away by CPS, which is Child Protective Services in the US. Anyway, so that's what happened with that young person's young life, and that's how that goes. I remember when I was tiny, and my parents had just put an extension on the house, and all this other stuff, and the lounge was like quite next to their bedroom. There was like a tiny sort of almost foyer type thing where they put an archway for some real weird reason. So they put their bedroom extension on the house, and it was okay, but it was also but nonetheless that's what happened. And then so it was their bedroom, and then they had like a sliding door, sort of a roller door that was leading into their room, and you could like literally anyway, and then I was quite young, and I think my older brother would be like, go in there and stuff like that. It's just like so of course, and I didn't really know what was going on, anyway, so that was something also I didn't need to see. So anyway, next up in shenanigans, we've got this guy
into the industrial storage unit on the 21st of October and made off with the haul in a Citroen Picasso. After the man was found, he ended up in a 19-hour standoff with police where he managed to eat his way through £37,000 worth of the cheese, all while holding two people.
That's £37,000 worth in price, not actual weight.
To smuggle the smelly product to his accomplices. Police have said that upon arrest, the man said that he saw himself as a sort of cheese Robin Hood who wants to share the beauty of this cheddar cheese with the world. The man, who is now in custody, has said he regrets nothing, and although his hunger for cheddar cheese is currently satisfied, once it comes back again, there is no jail cell that will hold him. A man who has been arrested for stealing over £300,000 worth of cheese and eating more than half a ton of it has said he regrets nothing. Not looking to profit from his crimes, the 63-year-old was just a massive cheddar fan who felt penalised by the decision made by Neil's Dairy Yard to lock up their best cheddars for only the rich and the powerful to enjoy. Feeling jilted, he broke into the industrial storage unit on the 21st of October and made off with the haul in a Citroen Picasso. After the man was found, he ended up in a 19-hour standoff with police where he managed to eat his way through £37,000 worth of the cheese, all while holding two people hostage. There is also roughly around £85,000 worth of the cheese still missing, which police believe the man managed to smuggle the smelly product to his accomplices. Police have said that upon arrest, the man said that he saw himself as a sort of cheese Robin Hood who wants...
Are you a cheese Robin Hood? Would you be a cheese Robin Hood? With today's dairy prices in New Zealand, would you be a cheese Robin Hood? Would you go out and grab some Colby or some... you can get Wensleydale, and you can get some brie, you can get some camembert as well, for sure. I'm not sure how runny the camembert is. I don't think it is very runny, but nonetheless, you can definitely do these things. I'm not sure if stealing cheese is worth its time or its weight in cheese. It does make me wonder exactly how much this cheese cost, because if he ate over half a ton of it, or did something with over half a ton of it, and it was like $37,000 or something, £37,000 in pound sterling, then it mustn't have cost too much, really, would it? Would you, if you were to steal cheese though, because we don't have much in the way of fine cheeses in this country, which is unfortunate, but I mean, maybe I'm shopping at I would definitely hedge a bet to say that I'm probably shopping at the wrong place when it comes to expensive cheeses. But nonetheless, I just wonder, exactly what would be going on where cheese is that expensive and you can eat half a ton of it, over half a ton of it, which is a lot of cheese, by the way. But so the guy had a 19-hour standoff and ate 37,576 pound worth of cheese, which is a lot of cheese, and there's still 85,000 pound worth of cheese missing, which is quite interesting. But nonetheless, that's the stolen cheese story. Yeah. All right, folks. Hope you've been enjoying this podcast. I've been trying to find whatever I can, really. Something that's interesting, something that's at least slightly humorous. Let's have a look and see if there is something at least slightly humorous upon the old Reddit. Yeah. Doolally, economic vandalism. Oh no, we're not bothering with that. No, it's politics. We're not bringing politics too much into this podcast. I've tried to avoid that quite frankly. I know there's a lot of things like that out there in the world, and I have thought actually about ensuring that I do keep politics out of it, and I do also want to do the opposite and actually have a full-on political sort of talk type show, whether it is politics, or whether it is a podcast, or whether it is just trying to sort of break the news as it comes as well, which can be quite a challenge, but it is what it is. You've got to try and do what you can, I think. What else is there to find? They say nothing is ever really lost on the internet, but what's something you've been hunting for years and still can't find? So someone's just asking this question, and for me, I would say wow. Japanese word of the week by Hannah Minks, or Hannah. Hannah Minks, I guess, but Hannah Jinks, and she was a good young person who did JWoww, Japanese word of the week, and did like a fun little kind of like, this is what we're doing, and it's cool. Somebody was saying here, replying, saying that recipes have gotten worse and old bookmarks for good ones don't exist anymore. Somebody else was replying to them saying, "Oh, what, you don't like scrolling through seven chapters of useless text and 4,200 ads to read a recipe?" That's why I recommend, honestly, if you're going to be baking or cooking or whatever, just use the Edmonds cookbook. Don't use it online. You buy one in person. Make sure it's got the actual recipes. Or you can find other recipes as well. And you don't necessarily need to really bother with much as far as things go. What you really need to do is I think learn the bases of say for example how to make a bechamel, or how to make a basic bread or something like that, or muffins or scones or whatever it is, biscuits, or follow some good people that are on like YouTube and stuff, and they are like what's her name, Claire, I can't remember her last name, but no, she's a very good baker and she's got a good cookbook out as well. There's also Lavina, who's Amish, and she oh my gosh, and she has she is she was Amish anyway. She is Amish, whatever. Claire Saffitz is her name. She's making in her latest video on YouTube. Claire Saffitz Dessert Person is her YouTube channel. She makes buttery cinnamon dirt bombs, which sounds super tasty. But anyway, Lavina on TikTok. She is Amish and she makes Amish-based recipes and is quite good. She's a good young person who has been baking and cooking and all kinds of stuff since she was like tiny, like 4 or something. And she's got her own cookbook out now, and apparently it's sold out quite well, which is brilliant to see. These internet people doing things and making things and getting somewhere with things. It gives me kind of a sort of hope that maybe something can happen with me, but we don't know. I guess I actually have to like focus down on some one thing and not just be like, I can play my bass guitar, I can stand here and tell silly jokes, I can sit here and read you insane stories about chickens and stuff like that. I don't know. I can do other stuff too. I can cook. Whatever, mate. Whatever. I could probably go, if I can afford it, I could go, I could go buy a welder and relearn how to weld again. That would be great. And that's about that. I think, is that all on my file for episode 7? It is. Oh, there's a Homestar Runner video, anniversary merch. The video here is very the picture for it is very reminiscent of a piece of costume I had many years ago. When I was about 15, I was in a production for a show at Penrose High School, and I can't remember the name of the production, but it was something about a dragon and all this other stuff, and I played the dragon. And I also played another character, but anyway, I was the dragon, and I had this great big green tail in this photo that Homestar Runner has been using on his video there. It just reminds me of the tail that I used to have, and I had that tail for a good 6 or so years, maybe 7 years, and I can't really remember what happened to it. It got a hole in it here and there, and it got another hole in it here and there, and I think it kind of dilapidated a bit too much. Maybe one day if I can find a sewing machine somewhere and some green faux what do you call it, velvet, I can use that and remake the whole thing. I don't know. Maybe I could remake it to be like Trogdor. I don't know. We'll have to see. We are down here Bowlside asking Cuteness, how tasty is that food? Is that some tasty food, kitty cat? That's good, kitty cat. You deserve good food, eh? You put up with my nonsense all the time, eh? Did you think that chicken story was alright? What would you do if somebody brought a chicken to our house? Would you freak out too? You'd probably freak out and go outside, eh? You're a good little cat that way. Alright, little cat. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching, everybody. Obviously you haven't been watching everybody, you've been watching me. Hey, but thank you very much for watching my nonsense. This here podcast is brought to you by me and my phone and just nonsense random ideas kind of got nothing else to do, so this is what I fill my time with. You know, I mean, I apply for jobs, go busking, feed my cat, keep my house clean, go for a walk. What else do? You know? That's about it. Anyway, hope everyone is having a good time being alive and enjoying their little lives or big lives or whatever you're doing. Okay? Behave yourself. Give your mom a hug, or your dad, or whoever needs a hug. Give your kids a hug. If you've got kids, if you don't have kids, that's okay. Don't give them a hug because you don't have kids. There's that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time on the Marty Cast. Bye.